Hey there, donuts! It's the Donut King over here, and welcome to another mod review. This is Modded Mondays, but it's on a freaking Wednesday. What? I don't know. I felt like doing Trouble in Terrace Town for last uploading session, which was Monday. I actually didn't remember that it was a Monday on that day, so that's what being on vacation does to you. You don't really remember what day it is. But anyways, guys, we are reviewing the Coffee plus Tea mod, and again, I'm sorry for not uploading the freaking modded Mondays last time. So yeah. So instead of doing the regular modded survival, I decided to do the coffee plus the coffee and tea mod. And what better place to do the coffee and tea mod in other than a freaking coffee shop map? I find this to be pretty awesome. So anyways, basically the mod adds in a few new beverages. Oh, and let me actually just go to game mode 1 so I can show you what the beverages are. So over here we have a full cup of coffee, half cup of coffee, full cup of coffee with sugar, half cup of coffee with sugar, full cup of tea, half cup of tea, cup of water, a boiling water cup, empty cup, an unfinished clay cup, a roasted coffee bean, a regular coffee bean, coffee grounds, mortar and pestle, tea seeds, tea leaves, and of course ground tea leaves. Now I'm going to explain what these do in a minute here. So this is basically what the mod adds in. The mod actually revolves around the PvE aspect, so it doesn't really add mobs or anything. In fact, this mod is the opposite of most PvE aspect based mods, because it actually helps you. Usually PvE mods try to kill you or something, like the weathers mod, which I reviewed a few weeks back. But anyways, without any further ado, let's go up to see what exactly this mod does. So in this mod, mainly two new plants are introduced. We have here the coffee plant, of course, which gives you the ingredients rather to create coffee and coffee plus sugar. I'm going to explain what these two fine beverages do later. And of course the tea plant, in order to do tea. And oddly, the tea, that's actually, yeah, freaking brown inside, but on the inventory thingy it's yellow, green. So yeah, pretty odd there, but I ain't hating. I ain't hating. And it also adds some miscellaneous items such as the cup over here and the mortar and pestle. So yeah. So anyways, let's get into the main gist of this mod, which is the beverages themselves. So in order to create a beverage, you must create a cup. So in order to create a cup, let's grab some clay over here. You need 3 clay for this, by the way, and then you just dump the clay in as such, and you do this. So we have a clay cup which is unfinished. So in order to turn this into a regular clay cup, we dump this in here, and then we wait for this. It's called an empty cup now. Now with this cup, what you're gonna want to do is you want to fill this up with water. Now you may be wondering, hey Donut, can we go ahead and make the coffee now? No, we have to boil the cup first. I mean, we have to boil the water first, damn it. So in order to boil the water, you just dump the water here, and it's gonna give you this boiling water cups. So yeah, and of course the boiling water cups are pretty important in order to get the coffee, because you can't really create the beverages with a regular cup of water. But anyways, time for us to collect the grounds rather. So if you want to get coffee, and I will explain what coffee does later, don't worry. We have to break this plant, and that didn't do anything. Okay, oh, here. If you want to get coffee, here we go. We have the coffee bean, and yeah, you get that from breaking the coffee plant, of course. And then if you want to get some tea, you break this and you get tea leaves plus some tea seeds. So yeah, let's just break this. Let's break some more, because it does require quite an amount of tea leaves and coffee beans in order to create a cup of coffee. But yeah, so once we get these, what you're gonna want to do is and yeah, so let's go ahead and grab us a mortar and pestle over here. Mortar and pestle. Alright, so what we're going to want to do is we want to go ahead into our crafting station over here, and as such we just put this here, the mortar and pestle and the desired mix you want. If you want tea leaf, some tea, you just dump in some tea, and then you just quickly grab that. So yeah, let's just do that. And yeah, as you can see, it gives you some ground tea leaves, and it takes some life out of your mortar. So yeah, so it gives you some uses. So, if you want to get some coffee, it's actually a different process, but pretty much the same process as tea leaves at the same time. So first of all, you have to roast all of your coffee beans, dump them into the furnace over there, and once you start roasting them, you're gonna get some roast coffee beans. And let me just grab as much as I can over here, so I can demonstrate it to you. There we go. It's practically gonna give you the same thing. And yeah, so once we get here, go in here in the crafting station, we do that, and then we grab all of our coffee grounds. There we go, muy bien. And we take our mortar and pestle, and of course it takes some life out of your mortar and pestle, just like it does with the ground tea leaves. So yeah, so now let's say you want to create a tea. What you do is you grab the ground you want. Let's say like the ground of the beverage you want. So let's say you want tea. You cover every crafting square with tea, with the tea ground rather, and except for the middle one. And in the middle you put in a boiling water cup. So yeah, this will give you a full cup of tea. And note, it does say full cup of tea, so that means there will be a half cup of tea. So, and if you want coffee, you just basically put in coffee grounds, and same process. But there is a different kind of coffee which I've showed you a while ago. There is actually coffee plus sugar. So what you're gonna want to do is that you're gonna want to grab a lot of sugar. Yeah, you grab a lot of sugar. Let's grab 8, and basically the same process as the tea and coffee, but instead of a boiling cup in the middle, you drop in a cup of coffee. So there we go. Let me just create another cup of coffee over here in the middle, and there we go. We got a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and a cup of coffee plus sugar. So yeah. Oh, and one thing I forgot to actually mention is that you can drop down the empty cup, but you can't really place down the cup of water or boiling water or the unfinished cup. It doesn't really make sense to do that. So yeah, now before I get into the effects of what these beverages do exactly, I'm going to teach you how to actually plant your freaking coffee plant. So yeah, it's basically regular Minecraft farming, but yeah, let me go ahead and grab a hoe over here. Guys, it's just basic Minecraft farming. So if you want to let's say get tea, you dump in the tea seeds, and yeah, you dump in the tea seeds and plant them. Of course, if you've played Minecraft before, it has to be right next to water, or something. And if you want coffee, you grab coffee beans. Now, for roasted coffee beans will not work, but regular coffee beans will work. So let's see what happens if I try to dump in the roast coffee bean. It doesn't really do anything. So yeah, you have to put in the regular coffee beans in order for this to work. And of course, like every other plant in Minecraft, bone meal works here. So yeah, let me actually just okay, you know what, screw that. Yeah, bone meal actually works here. So yeah, just like every other plant here in Minecraft, bone meal works. So don't worry, if you want to speed up the process so you can be more OP in the game, you can. And trust me, the beverages here are pretty OP. So yeah, and one thing I also forgot to mention is that there is currently a bug going on here in the mod. You can't really place down the beverages all the time. Don't worry, the creator is actually working on a solution in order to fix this bug. But without any further ado, I present to you now the effects of all of the beverages. So first things first, let's actually head into game mode 0. So we will be in survival mode, and seems like it's actually turning into nighttime. So we have here the cup of coffee. In order to take a sip out of your cup of coffee, you right click it, and whoa, we got speed. For 8 minutes. So that's pretty OP. But if ever you want to cancel this out, just go ahead and grab your regular milk bucket, and you drink it just like you do in regular Minecraft. You just drink it. There we go, and that cancels out the effect. And if you've noticed, there is still coffee in your mug. So you can break this. Actually, just go ahead and break it with your hand. And here we go. We have a half cup of coffee now. And now over here, time for the coffee with sugar. Basically the same thing as the regular cup of coffee, except it's speed too. So now you're basically on drugs. Yeah. Alright, so again, you can break this with your cup just like the cup of coffee. And yeah. So over here we have a cup of tea. Wait, before I move on to the cup of tea, you can drink milk. Yep, let's drink some milk to cancel out the effect. let's drink the cup of tea. The tea is actually, like, you can already tell by the particle effects. In my opinion, is the most OP amongst all the 3 drinks because you get regeneration from them for 8 minutes. So tell me, that's really OP actually. And as you can notice, there it says here half cup of coffee, half cup of coffee with sugar, half cup of tea. This implies that there are 2 uses to each cup of coffee. So you can basically, with a cup of tea and a cup of coffee with sugar, you can just just freaking go through a dungeon and demolish it. So yeah, that's basically all there is to it, to this mod. It's a pretty basic mod, but it's a pretty fun one too. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention you cannot pick up the mortar and pestle. It has a pretty nice 3D model to it though. In order to pick up the mortar and pestle, you go to game mode 1, and you grab a pickaxe. This doesn't really make sense to me at all. Let's grab the golden pickaxe just cause can. And yeah, grab it. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this mod, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And here's to some coffee. Let's have some cheers, donuts. Goodbye. Seriously. Okay, I'm gonna go pick up some grenades. Na 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 na. Just doing my regular terrorist things. Glock.
Did you just say terrorist?
What?
Oops, I shot by accident.
Terrorist. It's different from traitor, man. Is this you?
I'm getting shot up.
Okay. So the melon head. I don't know, man.